This is the GIS Evening Report for Friday, May 3rd, 2024. I am Sherian Noel. In the headlines, Palestinian officials on Caribbean nations tour discuss cooperation agreements in Grenada. Details to this story and more after the break.
Are you thinking about buying a vehicle? Did you find a company on social media? Stop. It may be a scam. Look out for the following red flags. Is the price lower than other dealers? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you sending the monies to the US even though you are ordering the vehicle from Japan? Does the address on the invoice match the address on the payment details? Are conversations limited to WhatsApp text? Is there a sense of urgency placed on you by the seller? You are about to be scammed. Do not take your hard-earned cash or even worse, a loan to send to these scammers. Once the money leaves Grenada's shores, you are not likely to get it back. Consider buying a vehicle already on island from an individual or a car dealer. Beware of these scammers. If in doubt, it's best to stay out. A message from the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Welcome back. Non-resident ambassador of the State of Palestine, Dr. Linda Sobey Ali, and Director General of the Palestinian International Cooperation Agency, Imad Al-Zuri, on Friday, paid a courtesy call to Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell as part of a Caribbean tour of nations. The officials discussed the prospects of pursuing cooperation agreements in agriculture and health to develop a hatchery and poultry farms. They also highlighted engagements that will be forthcoming with the private sector. Prime Minister Mitchell is eager to support the establishment of a joint business council for the sector. In 2023, a medical mission from Palestine provided assistance in general surgery, urology, internal medicine, pediatric urology, and oncoplastic breast surgery and ophthalmological services, all geared at boosting the country's healthcare system. Both countries established diplomatic ties in 2013 at the United Nations headquarters in New York. The delegation also paid courtesy calls to Governor General Her Excellency Dame Cecile La Grenade, Foreign Affairs Minister Honorable Joseph Andel, and Minister for Economic Development Honorable Lennox Andrews, Ambassador of Cuba Her Excellency Yvette Martinez-Lever, and the Muslim community. Moving along, Grenada will renew its membership at the International Labour Organization Conference in Geneva after a 25-year hiatus. Labour and Consumer Affairs Minister, Senator the Honourable Claudette Joseph, will lead a delegation to the conference from June 3rd to 14th. The conference sets the international labour standards and the broad policies of the ILO. This year's agenda includes a standard-setting discussion on protection against biological hazards, strategic objectives of fundamental principles and rights at work, and a general discussion on decent work and the care economy. It brings together the tripartite delegations from the organization's 187 member states. Minister Joseph said Grenada last attended the conference in 1998. She looks forward to renewing networks and collaborating to bring tremendous benefits to the country.
When we go to the conference, one of the things we'll be doing is to be networking with some of our counterparts across the globe, and particularly in our region, who have done this before. So for our part, we will use the attendance at the conference to reconnect with our colleagues at the ILO level internationally, to strengthen the relationship that we have as a country with the ILO, and to begin some, networking as we build the Ministry of Labour. So we would make sure that the trip is as productive as possible. We are a member of this international organization which impacts workers, and we have a seat at the table. We do have a seat by virtue of our membership, but we are not sitting at the table. We've absented ourselves from the table for 25 years, and I see no reason for that.
Director of the ILO Decent Work Team and the Officer of the Caribbean, Dr. Joni Musa Biana, commends the government on the move to let Grenada's voice be heard once again in the International Parliament of Labour. He said going forward only good things are in store for Grenada.
I'm therefore heartened that after 25 years, your country is sending a delegation to the International Labour Conference to take up your rightful place in ensuring that your voice and the voice of the working people in Grenada are held on what they call the Parliament of the World, which is the International Labour Conference, which meets every year in June in Geneva. So I compliment the delegation for seeing this through.
The conference will also elect members of the governing body for the 2024-2027 term of office. We take a break. Much more when we return.
Stomp out careless or intentional bushfires, dead out. Youths, hunters, smokers, let's prevent bushfires. Here's why.
Yeah, bushfires. The shoreline's wet, crops should be bushfires. Can lead to food scarcity, threatened biodiversity, cause water shortage, water calamity. Bushfires and watersheds deplete water quality, threaten property, life and security. Bushfires set intentionally, water sanity.
Bushfires can cost millions in losses annually and are often caused by careless or intentional actions indictable under the law. Forests are life-giving. Save them. A message from the Fire Department of the Royal Grenada Police Force and the Caribbean Open Trade Support.
Welcome back. Parish Sports Council elections kicked off on Thursday afternoon at the current government school, St. David. This is the first election to be held at the parish level. The elected members will represent the parish at the National Sports Council. The council was established to assist with the development of sports on the island. Sports coordinator Colin Peters said the election was well supported and he looks forward to the other parish elections.
It had over 18 clubs and school members here that were nominated previously to vote, and I want to congratulate Mr. Courtney coming on the chair for the St. David's Sports Council. As we said, the Sports Council aimed to help and to structure the sports within the parish and the greatest support that is so needed so that the sports can grow from the parish level. So it was a successful event, and we're looking forward to be at in Grenville this Saturday for the second leg of this for the St. Andrews Sports Council. So registration and everything has been done, nomination has been done. We asked you to come out and support, and we are very pleased to actually achieve a start at that level with that amount of persons voting.
Justin Courtney was elected as the chair of the St. David Sports Council.
Sports has always been dear to my heart, and I trust that with this sports council that is being established, that sports will develop in St. David's to the fullest, that the all-round potential of all of our youths and adults will be tapped, thereby bringing forward a better society, seeing that sports is a gateway to many opportunities.
Other executive members for the St. David Sports Council are Nicholas Paul, Vice Chair, Kathleen Victor, Secretary, Ishmael Pear, Treasurer, and 3 directors, Paul Phillip, Kwame Hippolyte, and Dennis Williams. St. Andrew's election will be held on Saturday at the St. Andrew Methodist School from 4 p.m., followed by St. Patrick on Monday, May 6th at the St. Patrick Roman Catholic School from 6 p.m. Scholarship opportunities will be made available to 4 sportsmen and women from Carriacou who recently represented Grenada in netball and cricket. This was announced by the Minister for Carriacou and Petite Martinique Affairs and Local Government, Honorable Tevin Andrews, at a special awards ceremony for Kisaya Matruin, Dejoni Bristol, Kellis Andrew, and Desron Williams. Matruin and Bristol were part of the Grenada Under-16 netball team, which competed at the recent Jean Pierre Windward Islands netball tournament in St. Lucia. Andrew and Williams were selected on the Grenada Under-19 cricket team, which was victorious in the Super 6 Windward Islands competition. Minister Andrews, while commending the efforts of the 4 for their representation, also said his government will continue working to upgrade sporting facilities on Carriacou. Moving along, since assuming office in 2022, Member of Parliament for St. George North East, Honorable Ron Redhead, supported by members of his government, has given a commitment to prioritize the upgrade of playing fields within his constituency, to include that of the Vendome playing field. The upgrade of the playing field includes construction of underground French drains, box drains, along the perimeter of the field and installation of a cricket turf. During a site visit with GIS on Thursday, MP Redhead said ongoing work on the playing field is now 85% complete. The upgrade, he says, forms part of government's plan to improve several facilities across the country.
We still have some box drains that we'll do at the front section of the field to ensure that it could control the amount of water that would run off and it does not go into the road. We are also completing the construction of the pitch and reintroducing it back to this playing field. So cricket is something that we want to reintroduce to the community and by and large the wider community and village of the Northeast. So the field is 85% completed, and this field sparks the commencement of major upgrade work in a number of facilities throughout Vendome to ensure that the people of Vendome have access to facilities both from a sporting level and also community development level and schools level that they can access and utilize to the best of their abilities.
He says some adjustments were made to the original design, and as a result, 2 significant changes were made.
One, we had to redesign certainly the original scope. We had to go over that because the extent of the work that was required really required us to go deep into the ground to be able to fix and remove all of the old soil that could potentially cause the problem to reoccur. So we got that out of the way, and we have been able to introduce or construct French drains in a particular pattern which would be able to have the water run out. The other thing that we are doing is to raise the height of the field so that the water and the runoff could be able to happen much faster and does not sit and accumulate and create the pond-like effects that we normally get. So this was something that took tremendous work, but nonetheless we anticipated it to finish in April. But nonetheless, we give or take, we are 2 weeks off, and we are satisfied that it was worth the extent, and we are going to be happy at the end of the day when the field is completed. Originally was 96 or 97,000 was the original amount that we were anticipating to spend based on the amount of work that had to be done. But as I mentioned, we had some challenges when we proceeded. But nonetheless, we want to place on record the thanks to the National Lotteries Authority. They played a very pivotal role in ensuring that we kept in line and stay within budget as much as possible, and to ensure that the resources in some instances came a little late, but certainly was very sufficient and timely to be able to get the job done.
Discussions are also ongoing for the refurbishment of the community center that sits on the compound.
We've already received 2 proposals from contractors to do the upgrade with the community center. The community center essentially was built not so much by contractors but people in the area. And it was a government project many years ago, started under the late the Honorable George Brizan. But it needs some repairs right now, and it's in a state similar to the school was, and as such we have already received the proposals. We have sent it to the relevant authorities. We have spoken to the financial people who would give the assistance. We even spoke to some of our donors, that is partners like ambassadors, so to speak, to give assistance, on which they indicated once upon completion they will give laptops, computers, that sort of thing to outfit the community center and restore it back to what it should be really used for.
Refurbishment work was also done on the Vendome RC School and the Hard Court. We take another break. When we return, much more on the GIS Evening Report.
I'm a VIP, I'm a VIP, I'm a VIP, I'm a VIP. Make us all VIPs. Take your vaccine, get immunized and protected. Kids, let's build our immunity to have a healthier society. I'm vaccinated, I'm immunized, and I'm protected. Get vaccinated, for we the children's future. Protect this fight together. Let's all be VIP champions.
A message from the Ministry of Health, Wellness and Religious Affairs, Be a VIP Childhood Vaccination and Immunization Campaign in collaboration with UNICEF and the Pan American Health Organization.
Sports Minister Senator the Honorable Jonathan Lackret has congratulated the Grenada Football Association and FIFA for reintroducing football in primary schools. On Thursday, GFA launched its Football for Schools program designed to integrate football into the education system for both boys and girls between the ages of 4 and 14. It aims to promote holistic development and fostering a culture of sportsmanship among young people with a curriculum of essential life skills such as teamwork, respect, inclusion, and discipline.
It's not just about the development of the skill and the sport with the respective athlete, but it's also about the ability of the athlete to represent him or herself, as well as his or her country, by the way that they communicate how they have been training, the kind of leadership they have been receiving, to train the way that they have been training, and to excel the way that they have been excelling. So I am extremely pleased that FIFA, in collaboration with its parent body here in Grenada, GFA, has taken on this mammoth undertaking to ensure that communication skills, life skills, skills that would speak to how our students are going to be able to operate on the international market, on the regional market, in terms of how they deal with the operationalization of life. We're pleased to throw our support behind the program in whatever way that we can, whatever little way that we can, to ensure that the program is a huge success for our athletes. So,
Marlon Glean, president of the Grenada Football Association, emphasized the importance of support for the success of the program.
From the onset, I believe it was critical and important to us. And more so because we know that our clubs, etc., do not have the amount of resources, financial and otherwise, to help develop our young boys and girls. So it's important that we start football at schools. It's important that we capture every boy and girl in Grenada, and there's no better place to capture them than at the schools. So this initiative firstly introduces or reintroduces, because we had in the past a vibrant primary school football competition. So it reintroduces football in the primary schools. And also it helps us to develop what the rest of the world call students. At some point, we need to find a way where we can provide for our students so that a good athletes can still pass 4 or 5 CXCs and get opportunities to further their studies abroad and become professionals, using sport as a tool, as a mechanism, as a pathway to get to a career.
Each FIFA member association receives a one-off US of $50,000 payment to support the implementation of the program, facilitating the provision of resources and training for educators and coaches. And with that story, come to the end of the GIS Evening Report for Friday, May 3rd, 2024. I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.